Hi guys, this is Yasir Rizwan. Welcome to another episode of BetterTech. Today we have with us Mr. Thamer Shaker. He's a visionary in digital transformation, and we'll be talking with him about his role, his organization, his country, and where he sees the world is moving with all this. Let's start with your introduction, yourself and your organization.
Thank you, Mr. Yasir. It's my pleasure to be with you today. My name is Thamer Shaker. I am the CEO of MYSAN Management Consulting, which is a management consulting firm that specializes in developing and implementing digital transformation strategies. Our expertise basically lays in driving effective change management and process that ensuring execution for all the plans that we put for the change management and enabling leaders within the industry that we serve. We've been in the business for the past 10 years and we serve more than 45 clients. So it's my pleasure to be with you today here.
So you said change management. It's sometimes is misunderstood and people take it very easy. What kind of challenges have you faced while doing all this, and how do you overcome those challenges?
Usually the resistance. So if we're talking about how we can implement and do the right plan, we have to go through process and we need to follow the steps. We need to be very careful when it comes to following these steps. We need to deal with to assess the current situation, understand exactly what's happening in the ground, understand the gaps and what's happening when it comes to where the organization is standing, so we can fix and take this organization and make sure that we're gonna, I don't want to use the word fix, but maybe enhancement, or maybe how we can close these gaps and make sure that we are taking the organization to the next level. So all depends on understanding the current situation and make sure that we understand the mindset. And that's why we keep focusing on the leadership mindset that exists in this organization. So we can make sure that we have sort of alignment between all different stakeholders in this organization.
So we have heard a lot about Vision 2030 of Saudi Arabia. So how do you and your organization align with this vision, and what exactly is this vision?
It's very motivational, actually, when you see that, or when you feel that your country is building something very ambitious strategic plan that aims to diversify the country economy and reduce the dependency on oil and create vibrant society, if I may call it.
Yeah, more modern, vibrant, and
yes, with considering digital, what do you have as assets in this country? So taking consideration that you can utilize and build on this. Of course, for any businessman or any entrepreneur, this will be a great call to keep going.
I luckily had a chance to visit Saudi Arabia this year. I performed my Hajj this year, and I saw the infrastructure and the modernization happening over there, and the kind of ease and facilitation that they have introduced in all of this, like getting visa, getting appointments in Masjid Nabawi and everywhere else. Also now you can book your time and you can go and pray over there, and you can see the modernization and digital transformation happening in local businesses and everything over there. Road infrastructure and the train, the amazing bullet train which runs from Medina to Mecca, and observation and everything that you can do online. Is that all happening under the Vision 2030?
Of course. So the vision emphasizes the importance of technology adoption, innovation, and the development of the digital ecosystem, drive the economic growth, enhance the public services, and improve the overall quality of life of Saudis. It's great motivation for all of us.
So how is Saudi society adapting to these changes?
They're doing quite well. We're adapting very fast, I believe, and we're we are very eager to move. And we believe, the nice thing that and this can apply for any change management, by the way. It's not only for companies. This is exactly what the country and the government did for all of us. It's like start with the buying and how we can believe and understand in that. So the majority of Saudis, they believe in the Vision 2030. That's why it's becoming smoother and smoother to execute.
So in the context of change management, if I think about it, it looks like changing the whole generation. I mean, the thinking of the whole generation, like educating them at a different level and raising their understanding and their maturity and their modernization and taking it at a different level. So
Right.
it's a huge change management project, it looks like to me, right?
Right, absolutely. And this is exactly, the topic that we are discussing about companies. Again, it's applied we're doing it for our entire country now. For the past start started in 2016, I believe, or 15. So now we're feeling the outcome, and every now and then we are receiving, sort of quick. I'm not going to call it quick wins, but the rewarding that we receive as outcome of this. Expo, we won the Expo 2030 and the World Cup and all of these things. It will never happen. It would never happen if we weren't building as a long-term plan or having something on the long term. So taking in consideration even the population that we're having today, we're more than 75%. It's below 30, so we have very youth society, and it's very important to adopt. It was very important to consider the change so we can keep going and growing.
So do you see a gap between the rest of the world and Saudi Arabia in the digital transformation, and like Saudi is catching and to cover that gap, or is it Saudi Arabia is already ahead and the vision is already
I think,
take
believe
it
it or
ahead of
not,
the world?
we are moving ahead. Like I was surprised even when we were talking about, big countries and they have strong reputation in their economy, countries that they've been in the business or doing business, and they have strong infrastructure when it comes to high tech. Saudi Arabia for the past couple of years, maybe 4 years today, winning the marathon. We are in the top of the game today, and thank the government for the great planning and funding for such projects. Today, the infrastructure of the high tech is really one of the most advantage of the Vision 2030.
And what do you think the effect of this will be on the rest of the world if Saudi Arabia is leading? Do you think there will be effect on the others also, and they will also follow with greater speed?
You are building your model today, and every successful model, it will people will follow. I mean, countries will follow, different nations will come. Even from investment opportunity, now the Saudi economy, the Saudi market is very attractive for international investors to come and to join. As Prince Mohammed bin Salman mentioned in a couple of interviews, he said that we're open for the entire world. That's why the regulation now, the regulation has been fixed to make sure that will help to attract more to see and check, and even for tourism to come and see and check what's happening in the country. So like the entire ecosystem, the entire circle, it must be connected. So we make sure that we are moving the right track.
Do you think we need different kind of leadership for this kind of transformation, or traditional leadership models will work, or what do you suggest for that?
Of course, leadership development is very crucial for the successful Vision 2030. That's why the country, and I mean the government, the MISC programs, the different initiatives comes from the government as MISC. Even for us as private sector, private consulting company, we have many projects that we're receiving from time to time, that companies, even semi-government, government and authorities, they're asking for programs to develop the leadership capabilities, and to make sure that they are aware and they are matching what's happening today in the ground. So of course, going back to your question, it's very important to have effective leaders that drive and champion the digital transformation initiatives within their organizations.
Can you share some example of your own work where you have been part of something very exciting and which aligns with the Vision 2030?
We've been engaged recently for in different projects from different aspects. So we've been asked to be part of projects that they are involved heavily in creating governance, new regulation. Of course, as I mentioned, something related to developing leaders and leadership capabilities, involved in the entire transformational project from digital transformational aspect, and we've been part of this. Alhamdulillah, for the past couple of years, we've been involved heavily, and we had very good amount of activities when it comes to this part.
Mr. Shaker, any advice that we would like to offer to local business and international organizations to invest in Vision 2030?
Be always on top of your game. Be always aware of what's happening in the world today. Everything is moving very fast. We have AI just been introduced in the beginning of 2023. Now every single aspect in the organization, can benefit from this. As a leader, always make sure that your leaders and your team are, even if you're in the top of the organization, make sure that the leaders in the second layer are following, your technique. Make sure that you're building great dynamic culture, because without great culture on the ground, nothing will be achieved. So make sure that you are aware of what's happening around you and understand exactly the strategy of the Vision 2030, and make sure that your organization will fit within the ecosystem, because for sure you will be somewhere. here or there.
Right. So there's opportunity.
Of course, and this is the right time. And I keep saying this, like in 1975 or maybe in the 70s, when Saudi Arabia was booming because the oil and what we had by that time economically. Today, we're having something even bigger than what happened in the 1970s. We have mega projects and we have a vision that's very ambitious, and considering Saudi Arabia to be one of the top countries over the world, inshallah.
Great. Really nice talking to you, Mr. Shaker. And thank you so much for being with us on this call.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. And it was nice to be with you today in this podcast.